We're going to come back with a talk on the block. Dr. Thompson Fontaine is joining me for the full hour there.
Longing to see all that I knew. Don't know what you think of me, 'cause my mind is always free. So why are you taking this from me? 'Cause you alone want to live. You want to climb the highest mountain, wanna swim the deepest sea. You alone want to live. You alone want to live. Overbearing is the least I could say when you turn and walked away.
Deandra Francis, happy birthday to you from your friend Alicia Reed, huh?
Make a better
Have a great day today down there in Portersville.
way. My son don't have to stray. But you lock away my dreams, and all hope is gone, it seems. Why are you taking this from me? 'Cause you alone want to live. You want to climb the highest mountain, wanna swim the deepest sea. You alone want to live. 'Cause you alone want to live. From the depth I rose higher than before, always struggling to make it on my own. From the ashes I rise, not compromising my take me high above the mountain. Let me fly on wings of love. Longing to taste the dew of a misty morning. Longing to see all that I knew. And you lock away my dreams, and all hope is gone, it seems. Why are you taking this from me? 'Cause you alone want to live. You want to climb the highest mountain, wanna swim the deepest sea. You alone want to live. You alone. You alone want.
Well, I hope that you are happy now, huh?
'Cause you alone want to live.
Good afternoon, good afternoon.
Cause you alone want to live. You alone want to live.
Good afternoon, welcome to Talk on the Block. Thompson Fontaine, good afternoon to you again. Thank you publicly for sitting in last week there for a few days. Did a great job, I was told. Good afternoon to you.
Matt, very good afternoon to you and to you, many listeners across the globe. It was my pleasure indeed. I certainly enjoyed the interaction of the public and just, giving the information that was so critical during the time that you were gone. So thanks for the opportunity, of course.
Let's get straight into it, Thompson Fontaine. Your take on the developments as it relates to this sexual scandal with this young child involving possibly one government minister and one top businessman on the island.
But what I can say about this is that this is very deeply disturbing. The reports that I've been hearing, they're not very good. It does not speak well for our country. That is a situation that we've long spoken about, we've long discussed. You've been playing, for example, the clip from Nasir Fontaine, where he directly addresses this issue. This is a problem that has been plaguing our community. And I think this case, I believe, offers an opportunity for us to take strong action against those who continue to violate our children. But to me, that is sacred. That line should never be crossed. The children, they depend on us adults to take care of them. They're vulnerable, and I hear people trying to blame the victim. You cannot blame the victim at this age. These people, they're impressionable. That's the age. They are the age where you're 14, 15, you're impressionable. Somebody come around giving you sweet talk. There's a very good chance you will fall for it.
Offering the world.
Because you're vulnerable. That your mind is not sufficiently developed. I was saying probably the same individual, if you put them in a situation 4 years later, probably when they're 18, 19, they'll react completely differently because now they have more experience, they can better deal with this. So that is why there are strong laws to deal with those kinds of behaviors. And my hope, Matt, for this.
So why are we not rushing these laws to Parliament, Tom? So we've been talking about that for some time now.
For a long time. In fact, one of the guests that I had last week was Tina Alexander, whom I understand is at the center of this case, but she was right there with me.
Sitting right there next to you?
Right there, yeah. And we discussed that. We were discussing, the whole thing of sexual exploitation of children. And the fact that our
what day was that, Thompson? Because I missed that.
That was on the Wednesday. On the Wednesday, yeah, very good discussion. She and Jelena Fontaine from Child Fund Caribbean, they were there. And
maybe we should repeat some of that.
We should, because it was very insightful. One of the things that I answered directly about was the whole question of hush money. I made reference to a case some time ago where money was paid and it was already within the court system and the case was completely squashed. And what Jelena told me last week was that they're looking at legislation that would take care of just that, because that was very disturbing to them. And already we're hearing in this case similar.
Only 2 days after.
2 days after we're hearing about hush money. So I think that my conversation last week was very timely, but also it showed us just the kind of limitations, the kind of frustrations that we have within the court system. But my hope is that we will get a very strong response from the police. What we know is that a report was made to the police. I don't know the contents of that report, but the report was made to the police. My hope is that the police will do a complete and thorough investigation, and that if there's any attempts at interference, obstruction of justice, that the law itself takes care of those, because there again, we have areas in the law that should take care of this kind of thing, where people try to interfere with an active investigation and so on. So the police of Dominica, all eyes are on you, and the police must be aware today that every single Dominican, every child, the hope of every child in this country is on the police, that they will finally do something about this.
Well, we already hearing, it's bandied about that there are some people within influential circles making moves to offer family members monies.
This is, and I hope, Matt, for the sake of justice, the pressure is on. Money is not all. I think this case should be a test case for the family as well. They should not be bowed by any offers of money. In fact, Matt, I think this family is starting to make a lot more money if they pursue this thing for civil case and go for damages. I think they stand to make much more than they can even make based on what I've been hearing, and if what we're hearing is true, they stand to make a lot more.
But even Thompson, I'm hearing some new developments that some other persons may be involved as well.
But well, I don't want to say anything. I mean, I've heard those reports myself. And that's why I talked about a thorough investigation. My understanding is that certain statements were made to the police. in the course of this current investigation, and that's why I called for a complete and thorough investigation. If more names were mentioned, if more individuals were involved,
other young girls may be involved as well.
Then the police has a right to, extend its investigation. And I really hope that no one will interfere with the investigation. Let this thing roll. Let this thing go, because we need, as I said, we need to draw a line in the sand and really send a strong message to our children that we will take care of them, and to the people that continue to perpetuate the scenes against the young people of the country, that this will not be allowed to go.
Let this be a landmark case, and I'm hoping, as I said, that Dominicans speak out. Hello, talk to me.
Hey, Mr. Pelter, blessings, King.
How you doing, man?
I call Dr. Fountain. Dr. Fountain.
Yes, I'm here.
My apologies. I mean, as much as it has been cheapened or lessened, I'm no longer going to address you, Dr. Fountain. I will give that to Matt instead. Dr. Matt. Matt.
Yes.
Doc, I came up with something. PPDT. Matt, you can remember when you asked Tony a question and he said you know nothing about that. Matt, do you know anything about PPDT? No, I haven't said anything about that. Matt, poor people, very, very few with principle. Poor and principle. Matt, D, desperation. A lot of them are desperate. And T, overly tolerant. Because they get backed in a situation, Matt, and they way out. You hear about $500,000 walking, Matt. And then poor people start talking, negotiating. So that's what PPDT stands for, Matt. Poor, principle, desperate, tolerant. And I put it in the context in which I have PPDT. Blessings is not all that, but just basic common sense. Matt, do not be surprised if one of these days a woman end up in the courtroom in defense of a boyfriend that abused her daughter, which would be his stepdaughter. She will say, when I'm going in the health center, when she's going to the health center, I am supposed to go with her, accompany her, to give consent. Yes, the doctor can examine and whatever. She will say, well, she cannot give consent, she's young. And I was right in the room. I'm no longer attracted. He's no longer attracted to me. But guess what? He's attracted to my daughter, so I gave consent, so you cannot send him to jail. Matt, you listen to how ridiculous I'm sounding?
Yes.
But do not be surprised. I gave consent just like when I accompanied her to the health center. Well, I gave him consent, so I told him where to go, not in the exit, it's in the entrance. Because, Matt, we are so damn tolerant, King, in this country, to allow our young people. When I listen to Tina saying she do not want to be deemed political, look, Doc, there, I told her you are not going there with any paraphernalias of any political paraphernalias. Go there with yours. Invite all the social workers and the different organizations, even get some foreign ones, and go under the Ministry of Finance or the Finance Ministry, whatever it is, the financial center, Matt, and make a noise. And I was telling them, Doc, can you recall when I said that? You expect for these people to set a trap for themselves, Thompson?
Yes, indeed, I recall.
Who is implicated? You know about ministers and big business people that are affiliated with the same bunch of criminals that just take advantage of Dominicans in general. And these young people are no exception. So do not be surprised if one of these days people are so desperate talking about poor people and principle and desperation and tolerance. A woman will end up in the courtroom trying to defend the boyfriend, saying, well, I gave consent and I was there to supervise what that was taking place. My brother, I saw reports in Dominica. Blessings.
Blessings to you as well. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matt, and good afternoon, Mr. Thompson Fountain.
Yes.
Matt, no mother, no father, no nenen, no auntie, no grandmother should accept hush money for their children when these things happen to them, Matt. When you do that, Matt, they should know they're prostituting the children. I'm not calling people children prostitutes, but once you accept money on their behalf, it's like you're prostituting them. Matt, have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Have a blessed day. But Dominic can seem very concerned.
Yes, indeed, and very well so, Matt, because that could destroy the psyche of the young generation. And Matt, the important thing to note is that the legislation that we are thinking about, because as you know, United Workers' Party, we have been talking about this and we are championing legislation that will deal with those issues, is that we will go after parents who take or accept hush money. The law must be written in such a way that if a parent accepts hush money to attempt to stop a case going forward, that parent themselves would be indicted and would go to prison.
All right, let's take more phone calls here. Hello, talk to me.
Hey, Matt, pleasant afternoon to you.
Yes.
Matt, first of all, let me apologize for this morning. I mean, the statement I was about to make this morning, Matt.
I caught you very early. Lucky for you.
Right. Matt, I wasn't really going to accuse those guys. I was just saying that's what I read, and if that was true, that's all I was trying to find out, Matt. But you clearly here with me because I just joined the program.
Okay.
Matt, on another note now, Matt, I really would like to know right now how people like Justin or Charles, how they're feeling right now, Matt. I mean, to see that a minor happened brutally, I mean, come on, Matt. What's her take on that? I mean, to attack a minor like that, I mean, I would like to get her take on that, Matt.
Well, we have also called on the social minister as well, minister responsible for women affairs, to speak out, but I suspect they are waiting. I'm just saying, just in my head there, that they may be waiting until an arrest is made on that one, Thompson.
Yeah, I would think so. And, like you say, and I think it's a good thing. They need to allow the course of justice to take its place. I mean, what we have is a report from a young child, right? Obviously, the police has to do their investigations. They have to call the people that are mentioned in for questioning, all the rest of it. And more than that, the process has just started. So it could be that they're simply waiting to see how it evolves.
All right. Somebody saying if it was somebody from the opposition, they may have been in the police cells as we speak. I guess you're speculating at this time, but your comments, I imagine, is fair. Hello, talk to me.
I am calling on the Dominica Christian Council of Churches,
okay,
the Bishop and the Prime Minister, Matt. You see, like when they call out and all of them come together, all the churches, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
And even for all the parties, both Freedom, Labour and UWP, to come together, set up something grand, a big stage, block the Bayfront, Matt, with a big stage. We don't need berries because we have the Bishop. You hear that, berries and Bishop, Matt?
Yes.
So we do not need berries. We have the Bishop and we have Skerrit and Mr. Linton. Let us address the nation on the carnage and the abuse and the barbarism of our young people, Matt. What is wrong? And Thompson, you just lose a few votes. You're talking about going after parents for hush money. My brother Dominica is a sick place. Blessings.
Blessings to you. Hello.
The first person, good morning to you.
Good afternoon, sir. It's the afternoon 1:26.
Good morning to, good afternoon to
Yes.
to Fontaine.
Yeah.
The first thing we need to do, once Skerrit lands in Dominica, drag him to the parliament. Matt, I've been advocating this for months and months now. They cannot be paying Roosevelt Skerrit $20,000 a month as a job. People must understand the Prime Minister's job, Matt. That is part of his job. Go into the parliament and address the abuse of the young people. The way you do it, Mr. Skerrit, take you and your position into the parliament, enact watertight legislation. As Dr. Function has said already, that you make it so watertight that things like hush money and all this will be addressed. Once the complaint is lodged, it goes to the police, Matt, whoever the complainant is. No hush money will be accepted, and the legislation must be such, Matt, that it sends a clear message to the male population of this country that you do not sexually abuse young children. It's not good saying the guy in jail for 2 or 3 or 4 years, Matt. Make it a deterrent that any man, I'll repeat it again, any man who sexually abuses an underage child, you must do the draconian legislation to put them behind bars for at least 20 years. And once that message gets into the public domain, Matt, I can tell you, those predators, those psychopaths, Matt, who wants to attack our children, they will not be even looking at those kids in the street once they know what they're in for. But I said, once the Prime Minister comes here, drag him to the Parliament, and let's start it from there, Matt, and keep that subject on the radio until the perpetrators are brought to justice, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. More telephone calls here. Hello. Yes? Caller, are you there? I suspect you're not paying attention. Hello.
Yeah, good day, Matt. Good day, Thompson Fountain. How are you?
Yeah, man.
All right. Good.
Yeah, listening to the whole vibe there, Matt. So you see me? You see that whole sex scandal in America? You know the problem? The main problem is not the people involved in it. The problem is the Constitution. You see that Constitution, that old Constitution you have there that keep whooping us now back? That's the problem. And I will explain why very quickly. That Constitution allows people to come and give evidence or to make a report, or you have to go to the parents to find out saying if the parents want to go ahead and do charges. Let me tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, once it's a minor, straight case. Police case, straight case, government case. Parents don't have to have any consent on, haven't got to negotiate nothing with police. That case belongs to the state, and the child belongs to the state as a minor, and automatically, they are out of it. The parents are out of the case, or trying to say they want to press charges or not. That's not the parents' call. A minor belongs to the state, just like in the US. You understand? And when you go down, whoever is convicted, after conviction, then that person becomes a sex predator. Then you make society know who is your neighbor. Because in this case, what they do, as soon as that person comes into a neighborhood out from jail, number one, they cannot stay close to a school. They cannot live close to a school, so that they won't be attracted by doing the same offense anymore. They won't be influenced. Secondly, when they go into a neighborhood, the whole neighborhood gives an email and letters as to you have a sex offender named this, that, brown eyes, black, 6'5", that age, living at that address, be aware. So they know. But see, Dominica is a different story. So we have to remind the laws that protect and how we go about the cases. People will always fault the laws. How we deal with it, that is the problem. So we don't deal with it the right way, so they keep repeating themselves, and it is what it is. So we need to, that constitution needs some serious revamping.
It's just not stopping, Thompson. I got a report of a few minutes ago of police maybe investigating a case of sexual abuse in the East. So it's just not stopping.
Yeah, and it's all over, Matt. We heard of the cases. I mean, 100 and...
I'm talking just today.
Yeah, just today. Yeah, it just continues. And we need to do something about this. This has to stop.
Yeah, and we are celebrating. Nothing wrong with celebrating. We're celebrating the Prime Minister's coming back this afternoon, Thompson. And that for me, I mean, here's our concern about children. And some people, feeling it necessary to go celebrate, to welcome the Prime Minister back with his honorary degree.
Yeah, well, I
think that the time is not right for that.
It's not right for that, and I hope the Prime Minister makes a statement about all of what's going on. I know he can't get involved in the legal proceedings, but he can make a statement. He needs to reassure the public that he will do everything within his power to make sure the laws are in place and that the law is followed through. After all, he is directly responsible. He has the ultimate responsibility for the young children of this country, and he needs to come out very strong about what he's going to do in those kind of cases. We need to hear from the Prime Minister.
I don't know what time is it, but my reports, intelligence suggests something, that this celebration is taking place. Each man to his own. If you want to celebrate the Prime Minister coming back, with his honorary degree, that is just for you. They were almost prepared to break the law and put that stage on the tarmac there in Kenfield.
Yeah, I saw them building it yesterday. Yeah,
and they had to remove it because I think some official there said, "How can you put that stage there?
Yeah, we played.
We could have an emergency. Some plane have to land, and you're putting the stage here.
And for what? What are they doing that for? Really? What's this sense? What's the purpose of
putting a stage on a tarmac there?
To do what?
A lot of noises were made about that, and they finally decided that they were moving it.
Yeah, but I understand that is because they scaled down. The initial plans were to have a big Asa Banton Triple K session in the stadium, but cooler heads prevailed and they scaled back the celebration.
We're going to take a break. We're coming back right after this. Celebration in the tarmac and then airport. Hello.
Right on cue.
I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
Back here, 1:34 in the afternoon. Somebody's asking, Matt, seriously, do you expect any arrest to be made in that case? As much as the parent will really want to go through with it, Matt, you must remember we're not living in a real country. So some people are not optimistic that Thompson anything will come from this.
That's why the onus is on the police. The police has to prove that, they will investigate this thing fearlessly and fairly.
Let's take a phone call. Hello.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Thompson, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
For once, I will support you on this issue with protecting the young kids, and I see it as a problem, a man problem, and I see it as a solution. Not just I support legislation, not just legislation. Everyone help one. When you are with your friends, when you are with your colleagues, we discuss that when we discourage.
I don't know what went wrong there with your telephone, somebody says, Matt. I am 41, but they will not see light on me. But let somebody touch my daughter. There's a mother talking. She's saying I'm an adult, I'm 41, and nobody see light in me, but let them touch my daughter. And 136. Are you there, caller?
Gentlemen and the listening public, good afternoon.
To you, ma'am.
About police to investigate. Which police? They themselves are involved in the sexual abuse too. What about the recent incidents about the police who fled the country? The only time example can be made is when fathers decide to stand up for the abused children. That is the only time the example will be made. Enough is enough. Stop. A lot of talking. You don't notice nothing is not going on. Let us see and see what is going to come out from that one. Thank you very much.
Let's see what happens. Let's see. But I'm sort of cautiously optimistic. We'll look, and we'll find out what's going on. Hello.
Hello, Matt.
Yes.
Who cares about the girl who got raped, Matt? They're going to have a party this afternoon. Everybody going to dress in red. They have free payout tonight. And the girl who they say they abused, she might get $500,000. So who really cares?
Well, from what I gather, and I've dismissed it already this morning, based on our information that, the mother seemed resolute and she's prepared to move forward to help her daughter. So I'm going to dismiss that for now and say that from my information that she has refused any offers that has been made thus far. Hello.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Dr. Fontaine.
Yes,
Listening public. Matt, two things, Matt. Matt, you cannot put cat to watch cheese. Matt, when you have situations like these, where as somebody said, I am not optimistic in terms of the police doing anything beyond claiming they're investigating. Remember the same thing with Gun Emmanuel? The other thing, Matt, a caller called in terms of the legislation. Matt, when a case like this occurs, and I want to concur with this gentleman, when something like this occurs, a minor is involved. In fact, the minor should, in that case, be removed from the home, and the state takes over what permission you need from parents to do things like that. I am not saying in this case that the parents were careless or anything like that, but Matt, you cannot at this time tell me you're seeking parents' permission to pursue a case. But what kind of foolishness are we talking about? But this is a minor who does not have legal right to consent, Matt. This is statutory rape. This is a case that the state now takes over. And no kind of negotiation the parents make should have any impact at all on what the police do. The other thing, Matt, is when the justice system fails us, Matt, we will revert to vigilante justice. And unless, I think this is what the legal system is hoping to happen. Or maybe that's what the government wants, that people take the law into their hands. And I think things like these drastic measures. Matt, I have one little granddaughter in Dominica. And I swear to God, Matt, any person makes her uncomfortable, Matt. I don't hear about no law. I don't hear about no court. I don't hear about no police. That person's behind is mine, and I am the lawnmower, Matt. Okay? This is foolishness. Grown people, you sit down there, case after case, you're doing this nonsense, and people telling me, talking all kind of stuff, because it's Mr. So-and-so. If it was John Kwashi, he would be in jail, in bars, being beaten by the police. Good morning, Matt.
Good afternoon. Blessings to you. Let's do this and come back right after this.
Q Classifieds. Get
95. I love Q95.
right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
Just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
course, we heard of some developments in the court there. Herbert Xavier pleads guilty to manslaughter and, of course, state withdraws charges against his sisters. Carlisle John Baptist has been following that story there. Carlisle, interesting development there.
Hi, Matt. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your many listeners. Well, what you would have, our persons would have been aware that in 2010, that's the 24th of September 2010, Xavier and Loretta Xavier and Manuela Williams were arrested and charged and accused of killing the then brother, that's Harrison Williams. They were eventually charged for murder, and the matter came before the court sometime later, and they were then found guilty of murdering their brother and then subsequently jailed for 15 years. They appealed the matter, and the Court of Appeal of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court quashed the conviction and ordered a retrial in the matter, sent the matter back, and the DPP, the onus was then on the Director of Public Prosecutions to have a retrial. Some time passed on that, and finally the office of the DPP decided to reduce the charge from murder to manslaughter. The matter came up, a jury was indicted, and this morning Herbert Xavier pleaded guilty to manslaughter, while his two sisters, that is Loretta Xavier and Manuela Williams, pleaded not guilty. Now, you must know that, Matt, that since a jury was empaneled, then although he pleaded guilty, the jury then had to then deliberate, in the sense that they had to put it to the jury, ask them if they had agreed on their decision, their verdict, etc. And so it was again a jury decision that had to eventually say that Herbert Xavier was guilty and Manuela Williams and her sister was not guilty. And so the Director of Public Prosecutions, after the matter, had this to say. She said, quote, "This is a matter of serious public interest. Several factors were taken into consideration. There must always be a balancing act between rights of the victims and the defendants. The investigating officer is now dead. The pathologist who performed the autopsy is out of state and can't be located for the trial. Justice must be done. Certain sentiments expressed by witnesses. There was a first trial, a conviction obtained and quashed by the Court of Appeal, who ordered or who stated that the DPP may have a retrial. They had served some time in jail, about 4 years. We remain dedicated to ensure justice is done in Dominica. Every case turns on its own merits," unquote. And Justice Errol Thomas had this to say: "This is a very unfortunate situation. Children saw it can have a lasting effect on them. If it was a stranger, it would be different. I will speak to the welfare people for the sake of the children and all concerned. Take time out to mend the fences. Get a priest or something." And that is the comments of the judge, because he's asking them basically, to mend the fences, because, of course, it's a whole family matter. And so Herbert Xavier is now on remand awaiting a sentence in that very, very unfortunate matter, Matt. Remember that almost 6 years ago.
Very, very, very interesting, Carlisle. Any other developments at the court at this time?
Well, yesterday, I think a gentleman, an Irish, I don't remember his first name, who was found guilty for previous bodily harm. He was fined $5,000 by the court. He's from Kingshill. He was found guilty, and he was given, I think, about 6 months to pay that fine. That's basically the court.
And I know you're on the ground, Carlisle, continuing your full-scale investigation into this sex scandal. Any new developments?
Whilst I do have, but one of the things, though, there are a lot of sentiments who believe that having that discussion in the public domain is not good. that a lot of sentiments are being expressed. In fact, some from the office of the DPP does not feel that that discussion should continue. They think that it is time that the matter be allowed to take its course, and then let's see what happens from there. So I don't want to make any further comments on the matter. I have a lot of information, but I do not want
But here's the other side of the argument, Carlisle. If you stop talking about the matter, you have to be very careful, of course, that you don't allow the powers that be to manipulate the situation. And if the public pressure is brought on this one, of course, you keep it in the air, not given the facts, if you will, of the case. And I spoke to a senior officer as well on that, asking to be very, very careful, without giving any specific detail. But if you sweep it away under the carpet, Carlisle, those powers that be will manipulate. And you see how they are sort of pushing you in a corner not to speak. That can prove to be very, very dangerous as well.
Well, they're not pushing me in a corner, I know what I know. I know a lot, and there's something they call pre-trial publicity.
But yes, if you're talking about the facts of the matter, specifically, we're talking about pre-trial publicity as well, Carlisle. I would not encourage that. But if you're speaking about the matter without giving the facts of the matter, this is a different, I don't know, in other words, we had a discussion in Barbados recently. There are some people, Thompson, that have become themselves journalists and calling themselves, we had that discussion, I'm trying to get the name, citizens journalists. They will take the matter and publicize it in their own way. But if you know what you're doing as a journalist, there's nothing that could be done about it, Carlisle. And I'm hoping that you don't allow the pressure of these people in their own circles to cover you. That's basically my warning to you as a media colleague.
Matt, you know me better than that.
Well, I know, but you just said, and the world heard you, Carlisle, that I will not be speaking. You will not be speaking means that you're covered into a corner. And I'm hoping that does not happen to you, my friend. Thank you very much for the discussion. 151, let's take another phone call. Thank you.
Never in my life have I agreed with you more. We will not be shut up by anybody in this country. The country where we were enslaved, nobody is going to shut me or you up. I totally agree with you, because in the past, Matt, what we found out, when we stop talking, the so-called big boys you have in this country, things are swept under the carpet. And that is why the DDP must realize that a lot of those cases, Matt, have not been brought to fruition. Nobody has been prosecuted because we've stopped talking. And I will talk, Matt. We must never stop talking. So let the DDP put that in her pipe.
If the case is already before the court, I can quite understand her concern. But this matter has not even gotten there. Thompson Fontaine, you see what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. And unlike Carlisle matter, I know very little, so I can speak, right? Because I'm not speaking about the case. All I know is that a young child made a report to the police. That is a fact. We can state that. And beyond that...
we want to see justice.
Yeah,
simple.
Justice. We simply ask that the police follow through and do a thorough investigation.
Thank you very much. Are you the caller? Yes.
Yes, Matt. We know... Are you still with me?
Yes.
We know what the term sub judice means.
Yes, of course.
Once it goes to the court, we know we shouldn't speak about it. It's in the courts. It's in the pipeline.
Yeah.
But at the moment, because that hasn't been brought to the courts yet, we've got to keep it alive, my brother.
Thank you very much. And I was making that argument. As a matter of fact, some journalist students are now contacting me directly from some universities. I was making the point in Barbados, 70+ senior journalists. I said we have to be very concerned about people calling themselves journalists. Now they're calling themselves citizen journalists. Citizens. So I said, okay, Professor, can I refer to, or can some people refer to themselves as citizen professors now?
Citizen lawyers.
They want to water down the whole profession.
Yeah.
And I will not, if I have that chance, allow it to go that way. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Hey, Mr. Peltier, or when all those young guys that murder in each other and causing all them things, it is not their concern for people to not to talk about it because it may be dead in the waters because of the people that is involved.
And we can talk about the guns in Silver Lake and elsewhere.
Nobody not saying not to talk about it because the matter is in the court or it haven't reached the court. That one is their concern, Matela Sponu.
Hello, let's talk. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
It reminds me of Jeremy St. Clair and Wiki Bricks with Abbott and Cascalu.
449, hello, talk to me.
Yes, hi Matt, hi Dr. Fountain.
Hey, hi.
Just listening to the discourse. It seems like Dominica is now a nation of sheep, so therefore we've got a government of wolves. Dominicans need to reclaim their mind. Get out of this, the hand of the cultural engineers who want to run or turn their mind, turn them into half-baked morons, consuming all the trash that's being manufactured by this corrupt government. Dominica needs to wake up. And since nothing is being done locally, we need to get human rights. We need to get the other international agencies to come into Dominica and get this place cleaned up. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, just to remind you, those of you who are concerned about the opposition person, of course, that was mentioned, possibly implicated in this. Again, the person is no longer involved, and from what I gather, the police is not interested at all. All right, just wanted to give you an update on that. Hello, 449-3095. Hello.
Blessings again.
Yes.
What I always talk about, that hypocrisy and that double standard there. I cannot take it in. Some time back, we had a case in the court where the mother intervened in the court system because of her child saying she didn't want her to go to court. The same police went to investigate, even to where the lady took flight, the time the lady took flight, where the lady went to have her as in the courts to answer questions. So long that police officer did it and he left the country. Nothing is being said. What is going on in that case there? We want information. We want to know where we are. We are not going anywhere, We are just in a quicksilver, just turning around and talk and talk. When the barefoot man do it, he is being penalized.
That's what I'm warning my colleague Kalil about. Because of who is involved, some people may want not to talk about what is going on because of who involved. So take heed, my good friend Kalil. Are you there, caller? No, you're not. Let's take another phone call.
Yes, Matt, good afternoon.
Yes.
Is that the only topic for discussion this afternoon?
For now. You wanted to talk about something else?
Yes.
What do you want to talk about?
I took a drive to down today and I saw 2 stages being erected in that area, the Canefield Airport area.
Yes, so there was also a notice. There was a notice inviting supporters of the Prime Minister to come welcome him, at the airport down there in Canefield. Yes, that's what's going on.
Well, Matt, I would like to believe that when precedence has been set, that it will continue, because if and when our doctors who go out and people who go to study to be doctors and so come back, that they will be welcomed like that, Matt. And I really wish that happened.
All right, thank you very much. So all our doctors should be given big welcomes. Hello, talk to me. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I was on the court when I heard the man speaking to Kalai and telling him about all these things all on the Q95. So it's impression. I was right there at the...
I wonder if it was some person's child, whether they would get involved in trying to speak to Carlisle.
Yeah, and Matt, but we are not trying the case. No. If certain things happen in the course of the investigation, like the fact that money was offered to squash the case, you need to say that. Let the public know that. I see nothing wrong with that. How is that going to interfere with the case?
I'm just telling you, Thompson, based on my experience there, that it's because of who may be involved. They want journalists to remain quiet. Well, I can tell you that I won't, and I'm not easily influenced. The world should know that by now. Hello, talk to me.
Matt.
Yes.
I don't understand. You say, it's poor people, children, they come in and pick up. Because I know of a case, I wouldn't call names and location, but it's somewhere in the south still. But same thing, the girl just say, Mr. Rape me, police come, pick the man up, put him in arrest, and then they start to investigate. So because it's...
You see, you're making a very important point. Somebody else may have been in the lockup as we speak.
Nah. We know who, the whole of Dominica know who, and up to now nothing's being done. Are you really looking for revolution in the country, man? Continue for your nonsense.
Hello, talk to me. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mark.
Yes.
I support you 100%.
You support what?
I support you 100%.
Thank you very much. It's just because of who is involved, and I'm warning my friend Kalai publicly, don't allow that to get to him. Hello.
Matt.
Yes.
Suppose it was somebody prominent in the opposition party.
Oh.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Forget that. That person would be in the cells now.
Hello, talk to me.
Suppose it will be happen to my mobile girl. I will be going down to hell with that man, my brother. No, will you have me to hold the mobile man down. I want him some money now. Watch my daughter cut eyes and leave her alone because I go down hell with you.
Hello, talk to me. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, quickly there, yes.
I was just saying that there are, in my recollection, that there are people who have been covered because of their position. So probably because of who is involved, we would have to stay hush and let the court do it matter. So whatever solution that can be done before the matter reaches the court, it would be handled in private so that the rest of the population does not hear about it. Thank you.
Okay, let's take our final phone call and we'll wrap it up and go over to the floor hour or digital hour. Hello.
Hey, Matt. Good
yes.
afternoon. How are you? And
Good.
Good afternoon to Thomas Fountain.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it seems to amaze me with Carly. I mean, really, why is he chickening out? I mean, if he knows something, Israeli, you're not supposed to speak about a situation if it's in the court of law, what have you. But I mean, they are investigating. If Carly knows certain things, he's supposed to reveal. He cannot chicken out. Those are serious implications, Matt. You know, we cannot chicken out on something like that. A 14-year-old kid is involved. I mean, come on with ministers of government and prominent businessmen. And Matt, I'm going to tell you, if you all do not want to reveal the name, believe me, one of these days I'm going to do it. I'll tell you.
I'm telling you not to reveal the name based on the Sexual Act. So I'm just warning you. Based on the Sexual Act, Offenses Act here, you cannot again reveal those names, my good friend up there in New York. Thompson, I'm hoping you can join me on Thursday. Thank you again. Thank you. It was a pleasure this morning. Let's go to the digital hour.
Follow us on Twitter at Kyrie FM 758. Advertise where it matters, where the people listen. With the genuine sound, Kyrie FM.
It's coming! The biggest launching in football. Visions Entertainment and SLFA presents Super League Football. Saturday, April 16th at Ball Station Grounds.